Hello, hello, hello. Hi there, friends. Svava Brooks here. Thank you for stopping by. And if you're watching the replay, thank you so much for listening, for tuning in. Like I said, my name is Svava Brooks. I'm abuse survivor coach, and I work with adult survivors of child abuse and trauma, either one-on-one as a life coach and I run online support groups. What I do here online Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, is that I hang out with my fellow survivors and we're working our way through my book, one day, one page at a time, releasing your authentic self. Very much what the journey is all about, right? Reclaiming the truth and the truth of who we are. We're not our coping strategy. We're not our, all these creative ways we found to navigate through our childhoods and for many of us way into adulthood. But if you're looking for a community to heal and restore and celebrate and thrive, please come find us. And just to let my Periscope viewers know, thanks for the thumbs up over here on YouTube. Periscope, yep, I'm running the live chat over here on YouTube. I cannot navigate two live streams, chats at the same time. My trauma brain would explode. So if you would like to participate in the conversation, would love to have you. Head on over to YouTube and you can do a search for the name of the book hey Sue, love those hearts, and join the conversation there. Otherwise, I know I'm in broadcast mode only over on Periscope, but thank you so much for joining. So how are we doing today, my friends? Long time no see for a few of you. We had our meditation this morning. We missed you, Rob. How are you doing, friend? How's your day going? So much has happened already today. It feels like, was that today that we were had a little meditation get together this morning? Not as much as I missed you. I hear you, Rob. I hear you, friend. Well, I guess I must be sending you many more reminders. I will do that next time. That's true, Sue. It's already tomorrow in the UK. So then I did see you yesterday, but to me it's still right the same day. So thanks for coming back for more, Sue. Been thinking about you today, my friend. Sending you lots of love. Sending you lots and lots of love. So today, we're talking about our goals, our healing goals. Oh, Rob says, one day I left my phone and I couldn't check Facebook and it's a Zoom day. I'm sorry, Rob. Hey, Denise. Hey, friend. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. I hope Tuesday's going well for you guys. But today we are talking about our goals, our healing goals, right? Because we maybe started off in January with an intention, right? Healing, shifting, moving this oil tanker, right? That our nervous system and our biology and our feelings and our beliefs, right? It takes a while to shift. So maybe you started off this year with a focus and intention on healing something, transforming something. And now it's time to stop and okay, what was my healing goal for this year? How's it going? Do I need to make some tweaks? Do I need to turn the wheel a little bit? Do I need some additional support? So this call is for you, right? What are you working on? How can we support you as a community? And what resources, tools are you looking for? You are good. I look tan. Well, I think I did get out into the sun a little bit this weekend. Summer, even though I do try to stay away from the sun. Now, right, the sun isn't so good for us as we thought. I remember in my childhood, like tanning with baby oil and coming from Iceland, right? Where when I first came to California, all those years ago from Iceland, oh my goodness, how I loved the sun and how I loved the beach. I still love the beach. But one of the reasons why we were okay with moving out of California is because the sun is brutal. So too much sun. And I spend way more time outdoors now that I'm in Oregon than I think I ever did living in Southern California. But my friends, what are your healing goals? What are you working on, right? Shall we share? Thoughts? Questions? The healing journey isn't as simple as finding that single path, right? Healing isn't just a straight line. It isn't just one step after another, right? It's more like, right? I was just talking to a client this morning, right? We were talking about, oh my gosh, I read that book or I heard about inner child work 15 years ago. Well, say that again. Rob, I was saying, what's your healing goal this year? Did you set a healing goal this year? How's it going? Do we need to tweak it? Do we need to assess? And like we know the healing journey isn't, a straight shot, isn't linear. And sometimes, right, things come up and we take a look at it and like, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I have the support system or if that feels right now. So then we just put it down and then universe, God, spirit, whatever you believe in, I believe it's all kind of, there's cycles. So a few years maybe go by. You will be given an opportunity again to take a look. Trust me. That you will get a chance to revisit. And sometimes even, right, lots of times actually, things come up and you're like, oh my goodness. Exactly. So definitely a spiral repeats. Yes. I thought I was done with that one. I thought I had looked at that issue. What's going on, right? Then maybe you're perhaps being asked to go a little deeper, right? Maybe you left a little piece in there. You're too attached to it, not willing to let that go, right? This felt something you, right? Like, nope, I'm not ready to change this belief. This is such a big part of who I am. Like, I don't know who I am without this. And it's often not intentional, right? We don't choose it, but it's been put into our subconscious. It's been a belief, a thought, maybe how we've seen ourselves and a filter that we have used to interact with the world for a long time. So maybe that's the reason why we've hung on to it. Rob says, I'm working on a friendship and socialization, and that Brene Brown, big thing. Yes. Was that the post from Sue? Right? That we need interaction, feedback. We need feedback for change. Sue goes ahead, says here, I was told it would be more worrying if we had a new problem every time. I was told it would be more worrying if we had a new problem every time. I hear you, Sue. I hear you. But it's interesting how maybe the same core issue may show up differently. Different flavor, perhaps, but there's usually themes, right? Patterns. So Rob says here, boundaries, integrity, generosity. Good ones. I like those. I'm going to write those down. Boundaries, integrity, generosity. So those are your goals, standing up for my beliefs in friendship while maintaining my integrity whilst being generous. Ooh, I like that, Rob. I like that. Right? Standing up for the truth, your truth. Asking for what you need, setting a boundary, respecting yourself, being integrity with ourselves. That means we usually are being respectful of others, right? Usually different bits of the same thing. Yes, Sue. Yes. No self-righteousness, just loving self-respect. No gossip. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Rob. Exactly. I cannot stand gossip. Right? It's toxic. Yep. Exactly. And you hit it right there, Rob, right? The healing journey isn't so much about what's out here, but what's going on in here, and how can I get in touch with my boundaries? Where am I overstepping my own boundaries? Where am I out of integrity with myself? Where am I not being generous or kind or loving towards me? Right? It all comes back to ourselves. And then, because when we stand in that truth, it's easy. Okay, easier. Let me just be honest, right? Then easier to set boundaries. This is me, and this is you. This is where I end and you begin, right? I'm going to support myself to keep my boundary here, and I'm going to encourage you to be respectful and honor your boundaries. That's awesome, Rob. Because when we know that for ourselves, then we can go out into the world and hold ourselves and our truth. And then when we're clear about that, we're also more compassionate, meaning you can have your opinion, right? You can think what you like. I honor your truth because I know my truth. I know who I am. Yes, exactly, Sue. She says, I guess boundaries is how we discover our selfhood. Yes. Yes. Exactly. And it's hard for us, right? For so many of us who, right, we're disconnected from our bodies. We didn't learn. Nobody modeled for us growing up what healthy boundaries look like, sound like, are talked about, right, or shared. So it's a journey. It's a journey of discovery and curiosity, right? A word we've been playing with lately. Rob says, and like children, other people feel secure knowing your boundaries and open up to you. Integrity breeds trust and confidence too. Yes, exactly, Rob. Right? It's like children and animals, right? You can't fake it. You can't fake it, right? They know when they see a real person. They feel when they're hanging out with someone who is really there and interested in them. That's a person of integrity, right? What I say and what I'm doing matches who I am. And there is safety in that. And there's safety in that for us. Yes, Sue, right? For a long time, I was asking, who am I? Yes, I get it. Who else? You guys listening, watching, can you relate? So if you're here watching, please say hello. Please let us know where you're from. We'd love to welcome you into the conversation. Right? And what have you discovered, Sue? Since you started asking, who am I? Who am I? So who are you, Sue? Who are you, Rob? Who are you, Denise? Who are we? Good question. Most of us are just going through life on autopilot, not even thinking that, right? But yet that's kind of what we're seeking. We're like, who am I? Why am I here? Oh, that's a lot of typing. All right, friend. Maybe you'll share that with us in the Facebook group. Hey, Nuff. Hey, friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here. It's late where you are, right? You're like Sue and Rob. It's already tomorrow. Am I right? You're even into tomorrow night. But boundaries is a big part of it, where I end and others begin. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yep. And when you can draw that circle, right? And I'm going to stand here in my truth, right? My body, honor who I am, what I feel, what I see, honoring my knowing of who I am, and explore that. Be curious. Who are you? But it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling when you can stand in, I know who I am. When you know who you are, the crap tends to fall down like right in front of you. It doesn't stick. Not to say that it doesn't sneak in there every now and then, but when you know who you are, when that comes at you, something else, right, that doesn't register. Oh, Denise, you're silly. No disaster. Nice. You can feel the sun warmth in here. Oh, that is very sweet enough. I'm glad to hear that. There's always a lot of sunshine around us. You know this crew. Let's see, deciding where I am and what I believe I want and feel. Yes. Yes. Right. And what a concept, right? And what a concept that, wait a minute, I'm allowed to honor my truth. I'm allowed to know who I am. I'm allowed to say, no, thank you. Right? Instead of looking for a box to put ourselves into. What's the box or the circle or whatever shape you want to create for you? Oh, saying yes. Yes, saying no is a biggie. Yes. Yes, 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 Sue. I'm sorry, guys. My contact lenses are playing with me. Good thing we're a relaxed crew here. We don't take ourselves too seriously. So yeah, so we've talked about that a few times, right? The need to say no so we can say yes, right? When we know and we trust that people respect our boundaries, that's the safety, right, Rob, that you mentioned? When I trust that my no is respected and honored, then I can relax and stay open to the yes or to receiving, right? A lot of different directions we can go with this. A lot of different directions. Right, Rob? Right, all right, all right. Sue shares here, I was never allowed to say no as a child. I hear you. I hear you, my friend. You are not alone. Not alone. Many of us were raised that way, right? And we didn't even question. Too afraid to speak up. Most of us knew just by watching, keeping a close eye on the adults, what would happen if we stepped out of line, if we spoke the truth, spoke our mind. Hey, Periscope friends. I'm sorry, I'm in broadcast mode only over here. I'm navigating the live chat on YouTube. So please come on over, join us if you want to chat. But thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. And we're talking about our healing goals. Healing goals. In the middle of the year, where are we at with our goals? So I'm going to scroll down here and share. I really appreciated what you shared with us, Sue. So the 2 questions for today. Right? Every once in a while, we need to slow down, take time to focus on our goals, right? That's the thing about the healing journey, right? Let me back up a little bit. We won't move forward unless we kind of know where we're going. Like, what am I working towards? To what end? What's my intention between this learning this process, or I'm changing this belief, or I'm, digging down my critical thoughts so I can change them. So I can bring up what's in my subconscious up to the consciousness so I can change it, so I can correct the lies. Yep, that's right. So the 2 questions I asked today, what tweaks do you need to make to help you accomplish your goals? And in the process of pursuing your goal, did you discover another goal that means more to you? So before I read what Sue shared with us, Rob said here, I did choice and consequence with the kids, and they hated it, as they have no consistent discipline. But after, they loved knowing the boundaries. Yes, exactly, Rob. That's it, right? We, as kids, we thrive in knowing what the boundary is. We are freer, more relaxed if we know we can trust the boundaries, if we can trust the rules, that the rules are being enforced, right? But as children, what do? Of course, we're pushing the boundaries constantly, right? Trying to assert ourselves, but it's when we get that loving but firm pushback. You may not like it, but this is what I said, and this is what I'm asking. This is what we agreed upon. Having a lot of conversations like that with my 16-year-old lately. But, right, again, he thinks he's grown up now that he's, right, bigger than me. as long as you live in my house, these are my rules. This is what we agreed upon. This is what you committed to. This is what we do as a shared community, right? So keep coming back to and remind them. And then we can discuss if we need to renegotiate, right? Like, okay, last time we talked about that rule, you want to change it? Let's talk about that. So, oh my goodness, I've come a long ways as a parent. It's like, you know, it's interesting as a parent, but some of this, my friends, too, hold true for us as we are learning to support our inner child. That's it too. It's the same thing. Our inner child needs that same boundary, that love, that support, that encouragement. And for so many of us, that inner child has grown into our full bodies. Many of us spent a lot of times operating kind of like children playing, you know, or throwing tantrums. I can remember when I could just feel myself regress in a situation like that was not very adult-like. I felt like a child in a sandbox, wanting the person in front of me to hurt just as much as I'm hurting, right? So part of healing ourselves is to become that parent, that loving, supportive parent that many of us didn't have. But it's never too late to reparent. And the good news, even though it can feel like a hard work, is that that's how we develop our muscle in becoming a loving adult. The part of you that knows the difference between defensiveness and loving kindness. No, parenting isn't easy in either case, exactly. But that's such a big gift from the reparenting process, working with our inner child. We develop a more confident, more competent too, more grounded, safe adult. We become, right, the parent and the protector we didn't have. And we also develop that resilience and that part of us who is capable to hold the space and the safety for our inner child to bring the hurt up to the, right, to the surface so it can be felt, to be released. Right? We need to feel it to heal it. There's no way around that. Yes, you can repress, avoid, distract all you want. But that inner child will keep turning the volume up, throwing bigger tantrums until we step in. Rob says, it's amazing how powerful being calm and consistent can be. So I was modeling that inner child stuff you talk about and being the adult. Yes, you were, Rob. And that's it too, Rob. You inherently know, right? Even though you didn't know maybe what you were doing, but you inherently knew what felt right and how you showed up for those kids. And again, many of us do a better job doing that for others than we do for holding that or doing that for ourselves. Again, because that's the feeling part. Oof, the hard part of feeling the feelings. So Sue shared with us. Yes, I hear you, Rob. I know holding your nerve is the hardest thing when you just want to hug them and cave in. Yep, I get it. So a big lesson in treating my inner Bobby, he said, yes, yes. right? That's it. We deserve someone who loves us enough to say, hey, sweet boy, that's it. This is what we need to stay healthy, right? This is what we need to get on with our life. So I know you're on to something here. Yes, Rob. Learning to become the parent that you so deserved, my friend. What a gift. You are the gift your little boy has been waiting for. So Sue said here, I noticed that a year ago, my aim was to be at peace with myself and comfortable in my own skin. And I recognized that I needed to accept the whole of myself, even the parts I don't like or find unacceptable. She goes on to say, I believe that now I am quite a lot nearer that goal than I was. Yet, I think my aim is still about accepting myself and my feelings without all the judgment that there has been in the past. You're doing a beautiful job, Sue. Beautiful job. Right? It's so hard. The feelings that we label hard, sad, painful, the hurt, the minute we put them in the bad box, then we feel bad. We think we're bad, right? And it's okay, these are my feelings. This is a hard feeling. This is a big feeling. Exactly. While we label it something negative. It's just a feeling. It's just a message. Just a message from your body, right? And you have a lot of things that happened in the past. Not that we have to go digging out and look for all the past hurt and memories, but just to trust the process and that what is the next thing for us to heal and release is what your inner child will be bringing to you to feel. Right? So we can acknowledge that hurt. Yes, sweet girl. I'm so sorry, baby boy. Right? That was not okay. I'm so sorry you've been at this alone for so long. I am here now. Sue goes on to tell us here, she shares, but now I want to add that I want to really grasp the fact that I am not my thoughts or my feelings, so that I don't keep identifying with them and getting overwhelmed by them. Instead, I'd like to be more able to sit with them and watch them as they pass. That is going to take practice, I think, and is very much work in progress. Thank you, Sue. That is brilliant, beautiful, powerful intention that you've set for yourself here. To start, right? To talk, to invite the possibility, right? I am not my thoughts. I am not my feelings. This is just information coming through, passing through. What do I make it mean? Yes. Rob says here, my emotional intelligence book says all emotions are positive as they serve a purpose, but you don't have to go along with them if you're mindful and evaluate them. Exactly. That's it. Exactly. Taking some getting hold of. Yes, I hear you, Sue. I hear you. And especially when we've associated the bad feelings, the negative feelings as us, right? Instead of being able to say, this is a hard feeling or this is a bad feeling, Doesn't mean you're bad. Because you're feeling shame, it doesn't mean you're shameful. Nice, you guys are hanging out tomorrow. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yay, please take pictures. I want to see that. Yes, Sue, she says, I lived in my head so long. Yes, you and me both, my friend. Anybody else? Stuck on spin cycle in our heads for a long time? Absolutely, I get it. Me too. And because my body simply wasn't a safe place, it wasn't safe. There was a lot of hurt and I didn't know how to handle it or to be with it and to let it up and out. I didn't know what to do with the messages that my body was bringing to me. But now that I know, and I know how my body works, I know how brilliantly my body has kept me safe and how brilliantly it will disconnect if the pain gets too much or it goes into overwhelm. I can understand why, and then I do my best to self-regulate, right? Come back to my breath, social engagement, reach out to other people, and acknowledge, oof, this is a hard feeling. This is what happens to all humans, most humans that go through this, right? You can get stuck there like a slave to thoughts and feeling. Yes. Yes. And again, right, I've drawn the curve for you guys. Your nervous system activation pushes you up. And if we tip too far, we go into overwhelm and freeze. And sometimes when we're coming out of freeze, to come back into social engagement, we have to go through the fight or flight stage again. But that's often if we don't have a grounding and awareness of trusting the process, it may shoot us back up into freeze. So, right, that's where the PTSD symptoms often stay. So to be gentle with ourselves, to recognize some of the signs and the symptoms that usually show up as habits or triggers for us. Yes, Sue, didn't have a clue what was meant by grounding and self-regulation. Me too, my friend. I had no idea. What does that mean? What does that even mean? What does self-regulation mean? Right? Staying grounded, being in my felt sense of awareness, meaning that I can feel my body and I can feel my feet on the ground. I haven't left. I haven't checked out. And for many of us, like I was checked out all the time, right? Most of my nights I spent out of body, but during the day I was up here. And so it took time learning to come back to this body and then learn to sense inside of me when my nervous system was being activated. How can I bring it back down? How can I come back into balance? Or be aware enough, okay, I'm having some hard feelings, but I'm still here. I'm still grounded. I'm still staying here in my body. And it comes with practice. Like any of these conversations that we've been having, it's practice, 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 right? We learn to be this way. We train to be this way. Our body has laid down the nervous system over and over and over again to operate like this fast. We are laying down new track. We are laying down a new track. I hear you, Denise. I am not my feelings is a tough one. Yes. My thoughts are not facts. Exactly. Exactly. Powerful distinctions. Separate them. Separate them. That's why, right? I ask when we work together one-on-one, right? I have you to write down those thoughts. What are those thoughts? Let's do a reality check. Let's write them down. Where did they come from? Because our mind is very good at coming up with evidence that they are true. So we need to drill down a little bit into those thoughts to help convince our mind this isn't the truth. This is the truth. This is what happened. This is what I'm choosing. Right? And now I'm gonna start to live out of this belief about myself. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Denise. Exactly. It's not the truth, just feels like it. And again, right, that's when it's good to come back to the body to recognize, am I defensive? Then chances are, or is my body tight? Then chances are I'm protecting something. If I'm open and curious, I'm willing, may not have a sensation attached to that yet, but I'm open to consider the possibility that there is something new that I'm learning. There's a new awareness, new way of being, new way of sensing, new truth, my truth. I know it's way easier said than done. Way easier said and done. And why, right? 90% of what we do every day is a repeat. We are just on autopilot for a lot of good reasons. But after a while, we're like, pause. This isn't my life. These aren't my choices. They are based on what I was running away from in the past. That's not what's happening right now. The moment is very much, right? One moment at a time. What's happening now? What's happening now? What's happening now? How am I going to respond to this? That's how we take our power back. Right? One thought, one truth, one goal at a time. Thank you guys so much. Really, really appreciate you guys sharing this dialogue, right? When you share where you're at about this, you both inspire others and model what's possible. You model what is possible. Whew. And of course, I pulled a card for us today. You're welcome, Rob. Of course, always perfect. One day, she opened her mind to new possibilities. How perfect is that? One day, he opened his mind to new possibilities. Spot on. I'm telling you guys, I think it's amazing how the cards that I draw for our group meetings are just always, always perfect. Well, sweet friends, I want to thank you so, so much for being here today. Curiosity, right. Exactly. Exactly, Sue. Okay. I'm curious. All right. Even when I was at my most resistance, like, no, I'm not doing this. Okay. I'm willing to consider the possibility. I don't know how yet. I don't know that I trust the process, that I'm willing to consider the possibility that something can change, that things will shift. That is just enough to create an opening. Yes, Rob, I know you are. And I think that's who we inherently are as humans. Our conditioned is like, who that spark. We are here because we are driven to learn. Peep in between the fingers, right? Exactly, Sue. It's our curiosity that drives us forward. That, like, I'm here to learn. I want to learn. I want to understand this. What's happening here? Why? I know that's like, I can be relentless. But driven by the rest of my life is going to be on my life, not just continuing to take the past and put it in front of me. All right, Sue. It takes one to know one. So she says, we noticed. Well, that's it, right? That's what it takes to heal. We have to want it, to be willing to fight for it. It's your birthright, my friend. There you go, Sue. Wink, wink. If it wasn't a part of you, you wouldn't be interested in hanging out. So I think we have something in common. There's a lot of effort in society to make us not think and not recognize our connectedness and compassion. We are changing that. Yes, Rob, I absolutely agree with you. We have been placed into boxes. And what do we know? And we do it to other people, right? When we put people in boxes, then all we see is the box. Every time we see a person with that association, we put them in a box. 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 We don't even think about it. Now we're tearing down our own boxes, and then we can see, wait a minute, exactly, judgment. Wait a minute, there aren't any boxes. Everybody is perfect. Yes, check your bias. Absolutely. We're doing a good job, my friends. So thank you so much for sharing, for your courage to be here, to share from the heart and love and support each other. It is heartfelt. Yes, exactly, Rob. That was powerful. They did great. They did great. Very happy to see them win. You're welcome, Sue. So thanks again, friend. If you are watching or just joining us, we are working our way through my book together here, one day, one page at a time. And I will be back here on Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you want to join us or hang out with us, please send me a private message or check my website out, svavabrooks.com, and we would love to have you. We'd love to have you. Yes, have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much again for being here. Have fun tomorrow and take pictures, share them in our group. I can't wait to see you two on a picture just smiling together. So remember, my friend, you already have everything that you need to heal and restore. You do. You do, you do, you do, you do, you do. Remember, all kinds of possibilities. Just be open to them. Do the best you can. Bye, Nuff. So good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I know it's late for you. It's late for all you guys. See you guys soon. Good to see you here, Denise. Bye, guys. Too many buttons.